So why detect it early? You know, why do we try to find it early? Why not just let it go until somebody complains about it, or an operator sees a problem? And the reasons are many, as you see on this slide. First and foremost, at the top of the slide over there, increasing the valve life. Well, if you think about what's happening here, that valve is cycling, is slipping and popping and slipping and popping and slipping and popping hundreds of times per day. I have literally been in plants where you can look physically at the valve and see a shiny part on the center of the stem of the valve from where it's been operating up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down all the time. You're wearing that valve, and if that's what it's doing to the stem, imagine what's happening to the seats on that valve. You're wearing that valve much too rapidly, wearing it out, and leading it to need to be repaired or replaced much sooner than it would otherwise be. Of course, if the valve is moving, it's affecting the process. And so all of these other things on the chart here are being affected as well. If you have if you have stiction on, let's say, a fuel flow valve, for sure it's impacting your energy efficiency, right? Anytime we think about that, I use a lot of analogies of cars, but imagine if you stepped on the accelerator on the car a little bit, and then you let off a little bit, and you stepped on it a little bit, and you let off it a little bit, stepped on and off. Yeah, sure, ultimately you might average the same position on the gas pedal, but do you think that was the most efficient way to drive, with your foot going on and off the gas pedal, on and off the gas pedal? Of course not. You're losing energy efficiency every time you speed up and slow down, you accelerate and decelerate the car. The exact same thing is true of your process, although it's a little harder to measure, but the exact same thing is true. It affects energy and quality and production and uptime and so on throughout the process. The impact of this kind of oscillation, this kind of cycling, is that it's hurting your plant, whether you know it or not. It's hurting your plant every day.